Hi, you found Miss Right. Now you're wondering, how do I keep her happy? What is it that things that keep her happy? Well, I'm going to give you two things that you want to look at to make your relationship successful. Coming right at you. The very first thing that you may want to make sure you don't do, you want to make sure that you don't isolate a Filipino. Filipinos are used to being in large groups. A lot of their families all live in the same area, and they're used to having a lot of people around. One of the biggest problems that a lot of people do when they meet a Filipino is they isolate them in the home. They'll go out with their friends, they'll go here, they'll go there, and they leave at the house. And they wonder after a while why the Filipino might want to leave. This doesn't want the relationship anymore. Because they made a critical mistake. I remember before I brought somebody to the United States, I made sure that I gathered all of the Filipinos that I knew, and there were many of them. I called many of them, and I said, "Look, I have somebody coming to the United States. I want you, as soon as she comes, I want you to, have some contact with them." Now, this is back before, the internet, so things were much different back then. So we didn't have a Facebook where we could all talk on Facebook. So they literally had to pick up the phone and call her when she got to the United States. This was very important. The other thing was that she was a Catholic and went to the Catholic Church. And there was a lot of connections there because our Catholic Church where I was, which was near a military base, I mean, we had probably 300 Filipinos that belonged to the church. So it was very easy for her to acclimate in there as well. So I think that to make it successful, you want to make sure that she has some Filipino friends, or at least initially at the beginning has some associates, if you want to call it that are going to welcome her to the United States. Or in the case here, you want to make sure that you don't keep her from the relationships that she has. Now, I'm not talking about guy friends, forget that. I'm talking about family and personal friends, and also some of the friends and what they like to do. I know if you forbid her to go certain places with her friends, this is also going to be a problem as far as isolation. The second thing I think you want to make sure you don't do is exercising control. Many of you have gone through some bad relationships in your past, and maybe you've had a marriage or two not go right, where things got out of control, or maybe the girl cheated on you or something like that, and especially that kind of situation. You come here to the Philippines and you meet a girl, and the one thing you're going to make sure is you're going to keep control of the situation by, well, just not letting her out of your sight. And in many cases, there's control that comes into it. And I've seen a lot of relationships break up over control. Either she's controlling you or you're controlling her. So the issue of control is very important to look at. You've got to let her go to her choice, or church rather. You got to make sure that she has ample opportunity to be with her family. You got to make sure that she's going to have friends. Because if you isolate her from those people, I'm telling you, it's not going to go well. After a while, it's going to get old, and she's going to feel like she wants to leave you. In a foreign country like America, if you isolate them there, they're going to want to go home. They're going to get homesick because they have nobody around them that they connect with. Just like you're over here and it's a foreign country, it's not your country. It's the same. If you take a woman over to another country, it's not their country either. So you have to find ways to help them to assimilate. And you have to assimilate. You have to assimilate to this country and this culture. And that may mean to get out of your own comfort zone maybe, and understand that you aren't going to necessarily have control over that person, and that you have to have something that maybe you've lost a long time ago, which is trust. You trust the person. Because if the Filipino feels you don't trust them, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And I want to make sure that, look, if you make a lot of effort to find Miss Right, and you've got somebody that's going to get married to you or is planning to live with you, it's a good thing. Look, maybe that's what you came here for. And maybe this girl is better than any girl you've ever had before. So you don't want to screw it up by isolating them or try to exercise your control over them. I hope that helps, because I see that all the time from people that have broken up. What always happens is one of those two things become present. Now, There is something else. Yeah. Do people cheat? Yeah. Do you cheat? Does she cheat? Does that happen? Yes, it does. That's a little different. I'm talking about most of these relationships, isolation and control. Hope that helps you. Please hit the subscribe button and like button, and maybe we'll see you next time. Take care.